Listen up. Give me a go, no go for launch. Booster.
Go.
Retro.
Go.
Vital.
We're go fly.
Guidance.
Guidance go.
Procedures.
Go.
Inco.
Go.
FAO.
We are go.
Capcom.
We're go fly.
Launch control, this is Houston. We are go for launch.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's entertainment.
Well, hello. It's all my little friends with all their little dreams.
New flashlight the other day too. That's pretty
Hey,
sweet.
you got a new flashlight?
A fleshlight?
A
I
flashlight?
got a flashlight. Yes. Oh, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
I think. All right. What's up, guys?
I'm not even gonna tell you guys that it's just
All
normal
five
for
of you
this,
out there.
just normal for this stuff to happen. I don't know why, it just does. I mean, we were logged in just like we are right now, but for whatever reason, the dumb thing wouldn't make it go. So I had to erase it and force you guys into this one here. So we're here. So
We made it. That's all that matters.
exactly, we're here, and I'm still alive. I made it through that the mission trip that we did, which I got back on Friday.
So I was gonna say I'm interested. We haven't talked much about it because I wanted to save some of it for now for everybody else. So let us know what happened.
I was in Lynch, Kentucky at Solomon's Porch, and basically Lynch, Kentucky, there's a coal mine 31 down there that closed up in I think 1963. It was open in 1912 to 1921 area. And Solomon's Porch that we were staying in was a 3-story medical hospital for the coal miners. And we ended up going in the coal mine on our last days there. I got to take a little tour in that, went 1,000 feet into the thing and got to see that. I ended up working at a youth place called Club 180, which does a lot of work with the young kids. And they told me, I mean, it's really sad because, I mean, everything about this area has been basically stripped of all the, everything good. They said the kids, 50% are classified as homeless because, they're either moving, bouncing house to house, or they don't have parents or whatever. So this guy I met, Terry, he was awesome. And, we did some work on his gym unit. I got I think it was a 20-ton train unit. One of the compressors had a restriction, got that fixed. I got his ice machine running. I changed probably 125 light bulbs to LED bulbs and stripped out the ballasts.
Only 125.
It's either 5 boxes. I think there were 25 in each one, something like that. And then I got some footage of the coal-fired steam boiler down in the basement, which
Nice.
State certification was last renewed in '99.
That thing it is pretty impressive.
It's a 2-story school with a full basement, and they're going to turn this into a foster home when it's all said and done too. And a lot of his staff are kids of that's been gone through the thing. It's like I think 4th grade or 6th grade all the way up to 8th. And it gives them stuff to do. It's like Vacation Bible School every day through the week, all summer long. He feeds them. The guy actually was an HVAC guy. He actually did commercial. I don't know if he was an installer or a service guy, but he did commercial stuff. And he still had his licenses, and I think he might still have it. So he knew full well what was going on. And, I had to do kind of a dirty conversion. I went to a 427A, which he had a instructor friend, which the guy was probably he had to be in his 60s, but he was still teaching at one of the high schools, and they teach it at one of the high schools. So he brought me some 427A. I had no internet the whole time down there. The only thing down there that works is Appalachian Wireless. Now, supposedly they did a handshake with Verizon, but they only gave them phone only, did not give them no data. So unless I was on a Wi-Fi, I had no data to do anything. So until I got back to the camp, or whatever you want to call it, I couldn't look it up. And then when I did, it said 3D squirrels, they recommended switching it over to PoE oil, which I didn't have. I told him, and he said this thing hasn't ran. The one stage hadn't ran for 8 years. He knows full well. I told him, what might be best is maybe a city multi or two, and how he could put heads in each room because these walls are super thick concrete, and he says he gets grants for certain things and things like that. So he knows full well on it because, I don't want to do something that's going to be questionable and then people will be like, that guy was a hack. I installed a mini split that I don't even know if runs. It was an LG. They gave it to him. I was trying to avoid putting it in. I looked at it. They didn't even close the valves off, so that scares me. They stole the name tag off of it, so I don't even know what I did at the time. I didn't even know what refrigerant it used. Still have no clue how much it holds. I ended up taking it apart, took the jacket off of it, and looked the compressor up, and it was variable compressor from 6,000 up to 24,000 BTU 410A. So we pulled a vacuum on it. Didn't get the microns where I wanted it at, but I squeezed this in at the last minute, and I threw 3 pounds in it. I tried getting a hold of our local distributor to see if he could get a hold of somebody at LG because they sell it. They never got me an answer. So what I did is I wrote on the back of it with a Sharpie what I'd done. We hooked up the head.
LG is notorious for bad customer service.
It don't surprise me. I mean, they look like a rip-off Mitsubishi anyhow, but I've never installed one before.
The Arc Cool units were the best ones just because they looked nice on the wall, better than the white, your regular.
This had a
white
mirror
box.
on it, which was kind of weird. I don't know if that was factory or not, but they had
they have some with the mirror finish. I put one on my Instagram page that I put in my parents' house, but it's got a mirror finish on it. Yeah. It's beautiful black on a red wall. It looks nice. They've got other ones that looks like picture frames, and it blows out the sides.
That'd be cool.
And it literally, you can't tell it's an air. It looks like a picture, and you can put a picture in it. You don't know the difference.
So
they make some cool ones. But go on. I didn't mean to
I went through the video. It's an hour and a half long. I'm thinking about making 2 different videos. One the whole thing, and one just more of us just getting to it. But it's not like my usual videos. I'm not instructing or explaining step by step anything. Some of it is I start on it. And okay, that one has open winding, onto the next one. I mean, it's very jump around, unfortunately. I had I used to work with one of the guys that's there. He's an instructor now at the school I went to. So he helped me. He was my guy that we worked with. And so then, so it was me and him on almost most all days. And then the pastor went with me on one of the other days. He was our gopher because he's like dangerous on ladders and with power tools and stuff. He's wrecked 4-wheelers and broke vertebrae. He's fell off tree stands and about killed himself there. He shot a crossbow, about ripped his thumb off. I mean, he's accident prone. And so he was just our little gopher. So he was grabbing the bulbs and putting them on the bed, and if you can believe that. And I had my GoPro sitting there on my ladder, and it went. We had magic dust come out all over, mercury magic dust, and I'm like, oh my gosh. It wasn't recording, unfortunately, but that was on the day we was changing ballast and stuff. But it's like, they're like the ice machine. It was like we didn't have a lot of time to do a lot of things, and I had no idea, and I don't think they even knew we were going to go to this Life 180 thing or Club 180 thing. It just happened to be another, good Christian group doing good things. So I told them, I said, I don't care who I work for. I just want to make good use of my vacation time. I want to help somebody. So you guys decide what's most important to you. What will save you the most money. I don't want to just clean coils on air conditioners unless that's all you've got. So if you got more important things, let's get those done first, and then work our way to others. So that was what we did at the Life 180 or the Club 180 thing, and then the Solomon Porch thing. We went to a couple of the. I don't know if you want to call them employees or what. A lot of these people gave up everything and came down there with no preset dollar amount. I don't even know how they get paid. It's almost like faith, pure faith that you're going to get fed. So, one guy was even a veterinarian who set up he has a veterinarian clinic down there, and he built a bunch of cabins for kids and stuff, and brings them out and lets them learn how to take care of horses. And they say that teaches kids a lot of responsibilities and things like that, things like that, life skills, things. So that guy came and gave his testimony and things like that. And, there was several other people that came in the evening. So after we worked we're supposed to start eating at 8 or 7 and then start working at 8, but things were always a little behind. And then 5 o'clock is when we officially kind of stopped, but then we come back and then talk about all kinds of stuff. And we technically, we're wrapped up by 9:30 doing whatever. So, the trip going down was kind of interesting. The trip coming back was even better. We had Guy's truck break down. I end up having to pull back the 19.5-foot trailer that he didn't have no electric brakes on, which was awesome going through the hills. And it was the word that we learned was flexible. So when everything's wrong, you just got to be flexible. So that's what we were kind of doing the whole time, which is kind of cool. And it really taught a lot of patience. And surprisingly, I was pretty optimistic the whole time. I wasn't the one that complained. I pretty much just went with the flow.
You didn't get in trouble?
I didn't get in trouble. People actually talked good about me. It was pretty weird. So, it was like, especially when a few of them are mentioning nice stuff about me, and I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah, something's got to be wrong.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Stop it.
Yeah, I'm like, man, you're going to make me cry or something here. I feel like I've lost my touch or something, So, but it was cool. I just got to decide whether or not, because I know some of the things that I did, it just isn't how I would normally do it. But I asked them, what do you need me to bring? And I didn't have a flaring tool. So what did I have to do? I had to buy a $19 flaring tool at the local Ace Hardware. It's a $19 flaring tool.
It's hard to do that stuff too. Cause you can only work with what you got.
It's probably going to leak. I even told them that.
Yeah. So. If you're at work, or the same way with me or Ryan, whatever, when you're at work, you have basically everything at your disposal. You have the right things to use to do something. If you're out in the middle of nowhere, somewhere that you don't know, you're working with what you got. You're trying to help people and do what you can with what you have. It's not going to be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the whole thing. I mean, no matter what, most people, depending on if they're just interested in seeing what was going on, and it very easily could get people that aren't even in the field interested to watch it. And, but you may have the ones that are more diehard that may not like it because, I got looking at the video and I'm like, crap, I didn't get that on the ice machine. I didn't get the little flap thing very clean. I'm like, great. Everybody's going to be like, you didn't clean it. And it's like, we were like out of time. They were rushing me. Let's go. And it's like I was trying to get the sensor completely de-limed. And then, after you do that, it's usually all wet. So I had to blow it out with my Milwaukee blower till that finally dried. Otherwise, it kept wanting to go into harvest right away. And
you can only do what you can do, man. A lot of these people out here want to they're living in a dream world and a bubble wrapped world where they don't see what we see on the commercial side on the daily. I mean, if half those commenters that can't handle stuff like that, if they knew what was out there, their brain would explode.
Alaska. All I hear is excuses, Rick. Whatever, Alaska. So, and I just claimed all that crap as I'm doing it. I'm like, on a couple spots, I'm like, you know what? If you guys have a problem with this, you don't understand why I'm here. Just turn off the video. That's what I was like. I mean, it's like I don't care. I wanted to come on live last week on Sunday. I had the iPad there. And it was like finding a place where everybody wasn't at, so I wasn't like some weirdo. It was like, okay, I'm not messing with it. And I didn't bring my computer because I wanted her.
Come on, we would have hung out with everybody.
That's what I was thinking.
Come in if they wanted and talk.
I left the computer here so she could run it, but if I would have taken it with me, I could have done the video and uploaded the one that I did today. I don't know. I didn't record anything all week, obviously, other than this thing. So it's not like my usual stuff. So I probably just go ahead and show it and figure screw it. Views are down a little bit now anyway, so who cares? I'll probably just run it.
Something a little different never hurts. Are
you gonna post any of that boiler?
Yeah,
the boiler thing was missing the jacket in the front, so they like stripped it down. But it was literally, this thing was huge. And, there was no nameplate, nothing.
You got any pictures or anything? You could put it on.
Yeah.
Well,
on the group. I'd like to see it.
I'm looking at pictures.
Hey, if you got pictures, I'd like to see them too.
I can put them on my, on this Facebook thing.
You can
do it later.
You don't have to put them on
whatever. Send me the link and I can do it now.
But
send you the link for what?
I am interested. I found one.
Did you happen to see the pictures that Steve put on Instagram of that concrete plant air conditioner? That was pretty crazy.
I haven't been on Instagram at all except for a little bit this morning just to see if anything was going on.
He's got a condensing unit that's just encased in concrete. You should check that out. Yeah.
A couple of them.
They have that real thin powder stuff. I'll get in everything.
it's a concrete plant, so they make concrete, and it's in the air. It's everywhere. So it gets in the coils, and I mean, you can't use water to clean them, obviously, because it'll turn to concrete. So you use air, and I mean, it's just the life expectancy is lower than if you. That's what I was telling Ryan. If you lived on, next to the ocean, the life expectancy of these is less because it just fills up with crap. I mean, some of them are so bad that you can't even split them to get into them because it's literally concreted. Like you can't. There's nothing you can do unless you start chiseling away concrete. So I mean, we keep them going as long as we can and blow them out and keep them as clean as we can. And then at a certain point, it's like, okay, it's got to go. I mean, it is what it is. You're going to run it in with concrete floating around in the air.
It's part of running a concrete plant, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
cost of doing business.
I've got to give a shout out. I don't know if he's watching. He claims he watches. So one of the guys I used to work with, it's kind of weird because he's like, called me for some help, and he's like, hey, I've been watching you, blah, blah, blah. He goes, you guys are getting on some install questions or something, and I was going to speak up, but then I decided not to. And I'm like, all right, yeah, that's cool. So Greg, if you're watching.
Hi, Greg.
How's it going, man? So, yeah, it was kind of crazy because, it's like I said, you have no clue. I mean, there's 43 people watching. I have no clue who they are. They could be in freaking some other country. They could be next door. You just don't know. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, to send the picture to the StreamYard, that'd be kind of pain.
No, it's not.
Do it later.
You add me in, and then we could do the photo thing with all of us.
Right now, it's just on my phone.
Correct. That I'm going to log in from my phone.
To what?
To StreamYard.
Just deal with it later. I've never uploaded a picture directly from my phone to StreamYard.
Just put it on your Facebook group.
Yeah, that's what I'll do. That'd be a whole lot easier.
But I'm not uploading it.
And then you can't see it.
Yeah.
It's just like if I use my phone as another computer. You know what I mean?
You're wanting to send it to Streamlabs, not StreamYard.
But I log in through StreamYard, and then it goes through that. And I do one thing. It works. Trust me. We've done it before.
That ain't why we didn't start on time then, huh? Okay.
That was you, bud.
All I did was opened up whatever's there. What's going on, Bill? Not a whole lot. Just got back on Friday. Had an interesting thing. The one guy's truck breaks down just, 3.5 hours away. It was just before we got out of Kentucky. And I think we finally were on 75 yet, but that was going to be an expensive tow back. And then, so he had his motorcycle. He had half of his house inside this trailer. And I had no idea that most of it wasn't stuff we even needed, or I would have brought my 12-foot cargo. And I'm like, well, the way you got this thing loaded, and he had like a 1 ton or a 3/4 ton, and mine's only a 1/2 ton Yukon. And I'm like, you're going to need to unload the trailer and reposition. You got too much tongue weight for my truck. And so I'm like, why don't you yank the bike out and just ride it the rest of the way back? His bike breaks down in Cincinnati, right before he gets to Cincinnati. I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? And when we heard about it, we were already like 36 minutes from home. I'm like, Cincinnati's 2.5 hours back. Sorry. Call AAA for that one too. It's like, too bad, too sad. I'm sorry. You're poked. Why are we just now hearing about this? So silliness, just pure silliness. Yeah, it was interesting. It was an interesting. I mean, otherwise everything else went really well. No. Well, one guy sprained his ankle less than 15 minutes into our first day, but it didn't break it, so he was all right at the end. But he spent all day at the hospital, and I think the closest hospital was at least 45 minutes to an hour away. So we were real close to a mountain called Black Mountain.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that, Steve?
No.
Okay. I've seen it on the maps and different things.
I'm a little further away from the mountains.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know, it's like Ohio. I mean, I've been kind of most everywhere around it, but, I guess it is kind of the opposite direction of where you're at. 'Cause I mean, I was literally, when I looked at it, I'm like below West Virginia. So it's kind of like, wow, that's kind of a crappy area. So yeah, it's almost to West Virginia and almost at the bottom underneath of it. So it's like, wow. But yeah.
No, I'm a city kid. I grew up in Louisville, so that's one of the bigger cities, and I just moved out to the more small town, If you and Ryan, you brought up Instagram. If you checked out my Instagram, we had a JD Shelburne. If y'all have heard of him, he's from Taylorsville, Kentucky, where I live now, and put on a free concert down in the downtown area.
I saw that,
and I mean, it's just there was probably maybe a couple thousand people there, but just everybody hanging out, good time. Everybody brought their kids down. It was a family atmosphere. He sang for a little while. There was a couple other guys, and we just sat down, had beers, and enjoyed.
No, that's awesome. It's about time people get back to normal life.
That's how I know. Supposedly your state's still a little bit behind from what they were saying. We didn't have to wear masks where we were at, but supposedly you guys are still under mask orders and stuff. Not as
far as I know. No,
okay.
I mean, depends on where you go. They can require you to. But basically, you don't have to anywhere we go unless you're going to the hospital or something.
Yeah. That was well, we took them just in case, but we looked at the population. I told her it's probably lucky if it had 1,000. And she looked it up and it said 700 and some. So it's really, really small. So what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Turn it down.
What is that?
She logged into the stream before I even let you in. How did that happen?
Because I still have the link.
Yeah, but I didn't add you to the actual thing yet.
And I even muted everything too.
That makes no sense.
It's really weird.
Yeah, the weather, we only had one tornado warning that the sirens went off, but other than that, nothing major. They made us go downstairs a little bit off because we were on the 4th floor of this place. So yeah, I guess there was 4 floors. But they only had that one warning. Then one of the guys brought his drone with him, so he ran out to the top of the mountain and stuff and brought it back.
That's cool.
He had it. I think it's the same one you got. It's one of the medium, the smaller FJI.
Yeah, I've got the Mavic Mini.
Yeah, I think that's what it was because he had it in our room and he's like flying it around and it's like, yeah, it's great. Take one of our eyes out. So I'm gonna make a little extra money this week and I think I'm gonna go get one. So.
Well, I'm going to. We're taking the kids to Wildwood, New Jersey here in August for our vacation, and I'm going to take that thing to the beach and fly it up, run it down the beach, try to get some cool video of that.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like, man, what happens if that thing goes down on you up in the woods? You going to go get it? He's like, it's gone. If that's the case. That would be kind of bad. That's the only thing bad because I want to get the one that's a little more money. I think, when you get all the extra goodies, I think it's about $1,000 or more. So,
well, the only reason I went with that one was because I don't fly it a lot. The only time I need it is to just throw it up there and get a couple of shots. You know what I'm saying? I'm not.
And that's probably what I'll do. But I always regret it if I don't get something, at least in the middle.
The more expensive ones have the sensors on them.
That's what I want, so I don't trash
mine.
it.
I could fly it right into a wall and it won't do it. You know what I mean? It won't stop.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Getting a little better at it. So I could have. I was contemplating selling mine and getting the better one, but for the amount of time I use it and what I'm doing with it, what I've got is fine.
Safer Collide.
Yeah, we had somebody come out and do
have a question.
They did a commercial for our company, and he had his drone out and was flying it around, and it was cool to watch him control that thing and fly it around. And I was in part of it and was just kind of doing some random stuff. And those I'd like to have one, but I can't figure out how to use my damn phone or my GoPro for that matter. I don't need anything else.
It's gonna screw everything up. Click it if you really want to.
I'm technologically disabled or something because I'm not good at it.
Except for HVAC stuff.
I mean, if I use it at work, man, I know exactly how to do it. But anything else, I'm struggling.
Yeah.
I I feel like an old man. I can't work my phone.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
We've got an old mall here in our town
Huh?
that isn't doing too well. I want to make a little video for it for my.
Well, I saw you did
personal-
something. You did something like that, didn't you?
Yeah,
You showed the empty mall.
Well, yeah, that was another mall, but I figured that people like those videos of dead malls. So I got another YouTube channel. It's just for my like family videos and stuff. I'm thinking about making a few of those.
Gotcha.
You know, because I'm already there at work. All I got to do is walk through the thing. But I want to do the one here in our hometown. So I'm going to throw the drone up in the air and just, you know, fly it right over the top. But I posted some pictures on, it must have been Facebook, of some very old units there. But that's all. Drone talk's not very entertaining.
Oh.
Yeah, no, that the one mall that you had that was empty. I mean, that's crazy stuff, man.
Oh, it was.
I was in. I wish I had video of it, but I was in one of the oldest buildings in downtown Louisville, and they got two big old steam boilers down there.
Yeah.
And down in this boiler room is freaking creepy. I mean, it looks like something out of like Ghost Adventures or something.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's something around every corner, and literally building's empty. There's a security guard and like one tenant.
Yeah.
And we nursed the heat through for the winter just to get them through.
Oh, wow.
Because one boiler was done for. We kept one going.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've been down there a few times, and I was at that point. I did some Snapchat videos and some random stuff, but I mean, it was just creepy and weird. Old boiler room and old building is just weird stuff.
Well, that mall I was at, it's called the Pittsburgh Mills. It's down in Tarentum, PA. It's actually it's a newer mall. It's a really nice facility. It's just that's dead. There's nothing in it. I mean, they've got storefronts. They put tarps up over them. It's kind of depressing because, you know, I was there to do 2 PMs, and between the two stores, I'm walking by 15 or 20 empty storefronts. And then the whole food court was all cordoned off. I'm like, I don't even know why this place is open.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
in fact, the guy, the manager for the one store, he had his refrigerant was gone. It had leaks in his system. I said, it might be cheaper just to move over one store. You know, instead of fixing it, just move to a different empty location.
Just move next door. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy, but honestly, we don't. I mean, we've moved beyond malls. Like, I know there's still a certain place for them, but
I go to some malls that are, you know, doing well. All the stores, nice stores, they're busy, and then some are just
bigger cities.
And I get some of it. Like I said, there's still a place for them, but there's less of a place because if I'm shopping for something, I'm going on Amazon. Why would I take a trip when I can't see it and I don't know what's there? You know, you're shopping blind at that point. When I can pull it up on my phone and look at it and go, oh, well, I want that or I don't want that, and have all the information right there at your fingertips, and then click order or click a button, and it's there in a couple days. It's
warranty on some stuff.
Sorry, malls.
Warranty, because sometimes they'll ignore it. Like, I supposedly Yellow Jacket won't warranty anything that's bought on Amazon. And I just bought new hoses. I bought the 72 inchers, and I've always used. I thought I had 72, but I must have had 60. And I don't know if I want the 72s. Man, they're kind of long. So.
Yeah, it's a little long. I mean, I like a little bit long, but it's.
I might send them back.
If y'all use True Tech Tools is amazing. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure y'all.
I just bought some Navac hoses from them. I figured I'd give them a shot. They're good. They got the ball valves at the end, and
no, I mean,
I like them.
Just the customer service of True Tech Tools, and everybody in the chat. If y'all are looking for tools and stuff, I don't know if they're cheaper or whatever. Blah blah blah. It doesn't matter.
They don't sell Yellow Jacket though.
No, the customer service you get from there is worth every penny if you're going to order something online. Yeah. I misordered something. I ordered something I didn't mean to. And I emailed the lady that night, and I had an answer the next morning, and she said, "It's cool. We took it off your order. We got the order right. It's coming to you. Don't worry about it. No problem." And I was like, I didn't expect that. Like to be responded to and to get taken care of like that was like, it wasn't that hard. It wasn't like it was a huge deal, but that just doesn't happen in the world we live in.
No, I ordered the wrong valve core remover tool. I bought the 3/8 I don't know, 5/16 or whatever. And I got a hold of them, and they just had me stop in swap me right out because I live fairly close to where they're at.
My new
I'm not
Volt
opposed to them,
took a
but
dump.
and I don't remember what my issue was, but I screwed something up on my end. It was my fault.
So did
But
I.
I emailed her and I got a response right back just real quick and said, don't worry about it. We got it right. It's coming to you. I'm like, that in itself is worth every penny.
Go ahead, Rick.
I remember that Volt pin I showed you guys, I don't know, a while back. Made in America, supposedly only one OSHA certified, blah, blah, blah. It has a white cap on it that screws down the battery thing. Well, that white cap, and I thought I remember this happening on my old one, it broke. It, like, for no good reason. I don't know if it's me leaning into things and it's kind of like did whatever. So I emailed the factory and said, hey, can you send me another cap? And then they got back to me that night, and I'm like, well, since you, this might happen again, can you just send me 2 of them? They sent me 2 brand new pins, whole pins. Because they said it was going to be 3 weeks out. I'm like, dang.
Shit.
I was like, that's
awesome.
pretty cool. Because I told myself, I bought on
no doubt.
Amazon and it's working great. And I hopefully you'll get some business. I mentioned it in one of my videos, and they sent me freaking 2 of them. I'm like, sweet. So
I tell you, the other company talking about good companies out there. I've been dealing with police security flashlights. I showed you guys my pin light. There's video up on it, blah blah blah. But they've been really good to me. They've got great products, and I've got the headlamp that I was telling y'all. I got a new flashlight. I got a
I don't
headlamp,
have to.
Nice.
and it's the Morph. So they call it the Morph, and literally it's got 3 lights. You got 2 on the sides and 1 in the center. The one in the center comes off, so you can disconnect it, and it's magnetic. So you stick it to the wall or whatever you want, and get your light inside that control cabinet or wherever you need it.
Yeah.
And then once you take it off, the 2 lights on the sides come on, so you see them from your head as well still.
That's awesome.
And it actually, it's got a battery pack on the back, so it's not overly heavy on the front, which I've seen in some. And that AAA batteries, and that charges when you connect the centerpiece again. That's magnetic. It charges it from there. The thing's awesome.
I had a friend in high school called Morph.
Yeah.
Wonder if he got a job there. Maybe he developed that light.
Maybe he did.
I lost touch with him.
You should have kept up with him, man.
I should have.
Flashlight salesman.
Boy, you're bringing back memories now. Old Morph. Yeah, I'm gonna look into them. I need a new flashlight.
They've got some good ones, dude. Go check them out.
Police security flashlights.
You can go to .com. They've got an Instagram page. They're all over the place, but they've got good products. I've got their pin light and the new Morph, and they've got a whole lot. I mean, they've got a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's been good service, good customer service, and all that good stuff.
I heard Field Piece has good customer service.
Oh,
I haven't
they have
had
really
to.
good.
I haven't had to. I haven't had any issues, but I've got those S-Mans, and I've seen things on Facebook. People were like, "Oh, I broke my old S-Mans," and they swapped them right out for them or something like that. So,
I did probe. Sent me a new probe.
Did they?
Yep.
What happened to your probe?
He lost it.
The metal thing was kind of getting loose on it, and then I didn't like my infrared leak or my leak detector, the heated diode one. So they sent me the infrared one, swapped it out for me. I didn't like that one either, so I sold it. But yeah, it's they've always taken care of me every time I've talked to them. I mean, so it's always cool.
I just picked up the probe set, the whole probe set with the 3 clamps and the 3 hygrometers.
Mm-hmm.
You won't regret it.
Can you connect those clamps to your S-Man manifolds? I haven't had time to.
I believe you
newer
can
ones
connect
you
all
can.
of that. If you have
Is it
if you
all
have a
connected?
newer, if
Yeah,
you
I
have
got
a
a new
newer
S-Mans.
S-Man, then you can connect that to Measure Quick on your phone.
So it's all through Measure Quick. It won't
Yeah.
connect Bluetooth to read on the display of the manifold itself.
The
I
newest
don't know
ones
that. I don't
supposedly
know that
can.
100%.
The ones Chris
Can?
showed off on his channel, his newest ones when he first came out with it, those ones are wireless. But that's like this released this year. I mean, within the last probably 7 months, I think. I don't know which model
I'll
it
have
is.
to look into that. They're the brand new ones.
Just buy another set of them. You'll be all right. Just get another set.
You won't. Honestly, I've gotten to the point where I rarely, like, only on specific occasions do I pull my analog gauges off the truck anymore. If it's unless it's something old and nasty, and I think the refrigerant's bad or something that I don't want to put them on there, or it's just a quick, does it have refrigerant in it, or something like that.
I use my manifold, like my analogs, for questionable systems.
Yeah, well, no doubt. But I mean, it's been few and far between that I even get them off the truck anymore. I've been using my probes so much. I mean, they're so. It's amazing when you have all that information at your fingertips and
I love the
there's nothing
manifolds, better. And I haven't got to use the probe set a whole lot, but I did use it. I drilled all the holes in I got all the hygrometers in there. It was awesome. But these are the ones I got, the S-Man 480s. They're brand new. And I the only thing I don't like is the clamps with the wires.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The wireless should go to that if you got wireless clamps.
I did get the wireless clamps.
But you can also Bluetooth through to your phone or whatever and get all that information.
I want to get the wireless scale so I can charge the system and see the weight right on the display of the manifold.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna get my boss to buy me that one.
I mean, Chris has showed some of that, and that's cool, but just having that information there and being able to walk away from the air conditioner or the air handler or wherever you're at and sit in a neutral spot or whatever and have all that information.
Sure.
It makes it so easy to say, well, this is obviously, it's restricted or it's low on charge or what it's this or it's that. It's so easy to look and say, this is what's wrong.
And the Measure Quick app, I haven't had a whole lot of experience with it, but just adding the hygrometers with the probe set seemed like it was giving you your target superheat and everything right there.
Because it's telling you, especially regardless of what metering device you're using, it's giving you those. And if you have the outdoor temperature too, it tells you what your head pressure, or it gives you at least a target range.
Yeah, I really liked it.
It's
I'm
amazing.
looking forward to using those, getting more experience with them here.
Yeah, no, keep using it, because I've been playing with it too, and it's interesting that I've started to be able to use, because just like anything we do, it's not always perfect, and there's always screwed up stuff. So you can't use the metrics all the time.
Sure.
To say what's wrong, but you can use it as a guide. And once you learn to what you're seeing and what it's supposed to be and what it might supposed to be, or what might be wrong. I've charged to that head pressure set point that is showing just on outdoor temperature, because I've had the wrong metering device or whatever was screwed up. I was trying to make it as the best I could, and you can look at those things and try to get them in range.
You can even look at it and be like, well, why is that? It kind of opens your mind up a little more as to why. Why is that doing that now? When before it was such a pain to try to get that information, you know what I mean?
When you can't have it in one place, I can't sit at the air handler and unless it's a package unit, obviously, but I can't sit, if it's a split system, I can't sit at the air handler and see my temperature drop and my pressures at the same time.
Sure.
But you can with that, and that makes it so much better.
I tell you what, just from the time I started in this field to now, I mean, it's like two different generations of how things were done. And, it's amazing the technology that's out there with these tools.
Well, and it is, and it's good to know, and it's good to use them, but it's also good to have that old knowledge too, and be able to pull your analogs out, because we're going to get in a world where techs don't know how to pull analog gauges out and look at them and read them.
Oh yeah.
It's coming. That's coming. Eventually it's going to happen.
I just like it because it's so much easier to get that information so much quicker.
Yeah.
It is, as long as and for you and me and Rick and, a lot of the guys in the chat here, probably it's great information to have.
I had to do it the old-fashioned way on
we
that
had
one.
we had the base knowledge that you have to know before any of it makes any sense, anyways.
Sure.
And we learned, I mean, I learned off of analog gauges. I didn't know any of this stuff. I mean, we talked about me being, I'm not good with electronics unless it's related to the field. So,
well, when I started, all I had was analog gauges. I don't know how the hell I fixed anything.
yeah, no doubt,
How did
no doubt.
But of course, it was R22 back then, and it was a lot
Lot
more
more,
forgiving.
yeah, forgiving than anything else. I wonder how I fixed a lot of things too. We got a good support system where we're at. So I tell the young guys, don't be afraid to call, because I've spent many a days on the phone with our support system and saying, dude, I don't know what's wrong. This is what I got. Can you help me, please? Like, I don't know.
Absolutely. So anybody know what they're doing this week?
Not me.
I got Monday. I've got an emergency kind of call. It's an electrical room that I had an Aeon unit. I think I put a picture on Instagram. Aeon blower motor failed, burnt up.
Oh,
not sure what happened. Just died on me. Big industrial plant. It's a single building that it does all the electrical rooms, and I mean, it was clearly overheated. The tag you couldn't hardly read and everything else. So I just ordered it from Aeon. There was a questionable spot on the aluminum centrifugal wheel. So I went in and ordered the wheel too. All the money was in the motor anyways. But I got to put that in hopefully Monday. Hopefully it's here. I never heard if it came in Friday, but it was supposed to be here Friday afternoon early. It never came. And so I'm at the mercy of whoever's shipping it, I guess FedEx or something.
About you, Rick?
I have no idea. I haven't even got call slip numbers for the calls I ran on call. Saturday night, the guy was supposed to take over for me at midnight. I got called at 10:30. Grocery store had a proof failure, which means it didn't prove that the compressor came on. Could be as simple as a generic relay tied onto the load terminals, or it could be a current sensing clamp or whatever. So I called the guy that knows it best, and he turned it on, turned it off, and the suction pressure didn't change. So he said, yeah, you're probably gonna have to go. And I'm like, man, I'm going to be switched over to the other guy here in an hour and a half. I'm like, it's an hour drive to get there. I'm like, man.
So technically, it's him then, right?
I asked him, I said, will you do this? Would you mind doing it? And, well, I don't really want to. I'm like, that's nice. I ran 9 hours last Sunday for you when we switched, but whatever,
Yeah.
So I ended up getting home about 3:15. By the time I showered and stuff, it's 3:45, and I had to be up there ready to leave at 9. So
boy.
It was great. And drive 6 hours and something.
That's one thing I never refuse. When somebody asks me, I guess maybe I'm just money hungry. But when overtime gets asked, somebody says, "Hey, can you?" Sure, I don't mind. But I'm just doing commercial rooftop work. It's pretty easy to diagnose. So
yeah, I mean, most of our stuff's not too bad. We don't get too crazy on call. We used to have we used to do a lot of refrigeration, and we did hot side work a long, long time ago. And when you were on call, I mean, it sounds like kind of like you got, Rick, but if you're on call, you're going to be working an 8-hour day at least. We don't really get that anymore. It's not been too bad.
Well, for me,
go ahead.
For me, it's not bad because most of my calls are in Cleveland or Pittsburgh. So I got 3 hours of driving in the call.
Well, I mean, when you're talking
I'm there
about
for an hour.
Yeah, I mean, like on our side, it's like, most.
The hell's going on? He's freezing up.
He froze up.
Yep. I was going to say it's him because we're able to talk yet.
His wife came in and he froze up.
Yeah, his wife's thrown the antenna off or
I
something.
was say, his wife came in and he froze up. You have me on mute still.
Well, it's because you've been screwing around nonstop with that stupid iPad.
There he is.
I'm back. I don't know what happened.
She hit you and kind of walked out.
Sorry.
Oh, and Ricky showed me your doggy in the pool. That was the best thing ever.
Oh yeah,
That was so
but
cool. I
she's
loved
been
it.
there all day today. That is her spot, man. She can't keep her eyes open. She gets on that float and just floats around for hours.
And
What kind of
she
dog
did
you
on.
got?
Well, I got four. The water dog is a lab retriever mix. So she's a black retriever. She looks like a retriever. She's got the retriever hair, long hair. She's beautiful, but she just hangs out in the pool. The wife has her raft and she floats, and the dog floats right next to her, and
That's awesome.
she loves it.
Does she get on the float by herself?
Oh yeah, she'll get in the pool, and she listens too. So it's like she ran
Wow.
out there first thing this morning. It was like, whoa, don't get in that pool, and she just froze. It's like, don't get in the pool, please, not yet.
Man.
Like
I
it's
could use
okay.
that kind of control for my kids.
no, kidding. But she don't listen that good. Let's be truthful here. But no, I mean, then we let her out a little bit after she ate. It was mid morning, and it was like, go swim, and she jumped right in the pool.
Wow.
And she got on the float and was just floating around for, I don't know, a couple hours. She'd get
That's
out,
ridiculous.
run around, and take off.
Crazy.
I'm trying to talk Rick into putting a pool in at our house so that way the dogs and I can float, but he won't do it.
Mm-hmm. You never go outside, so I'm not wasting the money.
I don't have an excuse to go outside.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, our other dogs don't like it, if they don't want to know part of it, they ain't. For some reason, she is just she loves the water. Not sure why. The other dogs don't want nothing to do with it. They'll sit in the shade or whatever. But she loves the water.
We pay for the country club pool. I don't swim too much.
The country club pool. Oh yeah,
I'm
I
not a
just
big
do.
swimmer
I
either.
just do rooftop units with a heat exchanger. He's got the country club pool.
Nah,
Country club.
it's not that expensive. It's just at the park,
Yeah, sure,
But
sure.
my wife buys the family pass for the summer.
Do you get
The
a
kids
manicure
like to
while you're
go.
there? They do your
I don't
nails
go
and
because
stuff.
no one
Take
wants
the
to see me
calluses
with my
off.
shirt off at the pool.
I mean, when you don't, I mean, you got to have a pool somewhere. Everybody's got somewhere to go to swim.
Yeah.
I feel like, but we just put ours in, so it's we're still under construction. I have to maybe next week or something. I'll go on my tablet or my laptop and sit outside and give everybody a view.
That'd be cool.
I got a nice little view out back, and there's a farm behind me, so I got nothing behind me except maybe some cows. And,
Nice.
It's beautiful. We've been enjoying the outside peacefulness.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got a brother that's been putting a bunch of in-ground pools in and stuff, and I can't even get him over here to pour the concrete for the apron off my barn. I put my van in there, so I highly doubt he'll take care of a pool for me. So I'll get to you. I'll get to you.
We had, man,
It was 3 years ago.
He was badass. I don't remember his name, but I mean, they showed up at 8:00. I've got a decent hill in my back. So 54-inch pool is now about half covered and dug into. So you're talking 25, 28 inches, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were done by like 11:00. They were
Wow.
buttoning stuff up and out of the driveway. They had it dug out. They had it level. They had the pool in. They had a couple inches of water in it. And the pool put together. I was like, this is crazy. They work so fast. But I guess when you do that every day,
Sure.
they just on the ball, man.
Probably like us check and charge, Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna go in, you do, and you know what you're doing exactly. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that wouldn't be all bad. I don't know. She's trying to get me another vehicle, and it's like, everything's stupid price right now. And then I guess refrigerant's gotten real stupid lately too. I've been seeing it in multiple places.
What y'all paying for R22 now?
Supposedly it's still around 400 something, but I told her, I said, you might want to check
What?
around. I'm
No,
hearing stupid stuff, and I'm like, I don't know.
You're-
She said it was
you've
still the
gotta-
same.
You've got to be wrong. It can't be right. I think I paid $800, literally.
Yeah, I know we've never
Last
paid
week.
that. But I heard
It was
like
600
410A
last
is
year.
even stupid right now. 410A is like freaking 300 or something.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about right.
So
But our
detecting was
It was
saying
110 bucks not that long ago.
detecting saying a 300% increase on 410A.
It's just an ass raping is all it is, thanks to our good friends on the political spectrum.
Thanks to Flashbang.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's Arizona said 800 for 22 as well. That's what I mean. I think that's what I paid the other day was like 800 bucks. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Alaska
look what-
said stories about 1,100 bucks, which I
And
mean I can
Dave-
understand. Depending on where you're at, it's gonna be a little different. But
Look what
I
Dave
didn't.
just
I
said.
just 400.
1250 for 22.
Yeah. I don't know. There's no good
Hey.
excuse for it. If we had a good establishment in there, they would get them for price gouging and all the other crap, but that's never going to happen. They're the lawless group, so it's never going to happen.
I mean, it's they're phasing it out. That's what's going to happen until they change all the R22 equipment.
Yeah, but 410A, all the crap that's like not phased anywhere near phased out, there's no damn excuse for 300 and some bucks. That's just bullshit. They're just screwing
No,
us in the ass.
but I mean, it is what it is. They're trying to get your money, but
It's
I mean,
that new recycled deal.
I don't know why they got to get your money that way. They make the equipment so cheap anymore. You got to buy a new one every 10 years. So what's the point? Like, you don't need my money on the refrigerant. It's not old enough to leak before it dies.
You must not buy the
I mean,
good
listen.
stuff because most of them leak anymore, it seems like within a year or two.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, the video I did on Friday was a 5-year-old, and this is a nice industrial chiller leaking in a condenser coil.
I just had two 2020 rooftop units, both of them second stage flat
Nice.
on the high pressure switch.
They stretch the copper so thin. I mean, the high pressure switch is another.
This was
I mean,
just
they're
not
always
tight. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it always the leak point, but I think they stretch the copper so thin anymore that it's useless. It's like they're trying to get as much efficiency I can't even talk
Efficiency
out of it as they can, and they stretch it so thin it leaks.
Yeah.
So here's a question for you guys. I was thinking about this earlier. So when Rick and I were rolling around town, I made comments to him. I said, because prices for trucks right now or vehicles in general is just stupid. And at what point is the whole chip shortage, for vehicles going to start trickling down to everything else? So for example, like my CPAP machine, I've maybe had that for 3 years and it just got recalled. Philips Respironics did this massive recall on CPAPs, BiPAPs, and ventilators. And it's not all their models, but it's specific models because their sound dampening foam can actually off gas and or even break apart and spew little particles into your tubing.
Yeah,
But with there being a chip shortage in vehicles, and Ford, for example, can't even don't even have enough chips to keep producing vehicles, and they have to to get them off the line, then how are all these people, there's millions of people on CPAPs that are and all these machines that need to be recalled. How in the world are they going to have chips for this? What about anything that has a board in it, like new HVAC models?
You mean everything?
Everything. It's going to trickle
not
down
just
to
that. I mean,
literally everything.
well, we've seen it here too. And you're right. I don't know what's going to happen coming up because we can't get anything. Whether it be new equipment, it's hard to get. Everything's gone up. The refrigerant's expensive and the trucks are expensive, but there's a shortage of truck drivers, so they can't get people to drive the trucks to bring you your computer chip. And I don't know where the problem lies, but we've had trouble. I don't know if you guys have had the same thing, but I've had trouble getting filters. If you need a certain size filter,
it's not just chips. Like even in medical, for us, we've had issues with the supplies for even the last year, just even getting them. And it's not just the truckers get in shipping. It's legit that people don't have the resources or the goods, like the actual,
raw materials.
the raw materials to even make them.
The whole system's kind of broken apart right now. and I'm not sure anybody really knows how to fix it. Nobody's really talked about it, but I mean, it's kind of screwed up. I mean, the crazy thing is, I'm in Louisville. We've got literally, I don't know, 20 miles north in Indiana. We have the main manufacturer of the filters. You all have seen them cook filters.
Yep.
That plant's not too far from me, and we can't get them either. And it's like they're making them right here. Like I do work there. It's like why can't I get a filter? It's crazy. I don't know the answer, but you're right.
Yeah, I get mixed boxes now, the pleateds, fiberglass, just to get my order together because they're waiting and things aren't
cheats.
And like for us, I'm constantly having things that like we order, like this is the standard stuff I always order, that I'm having to find more and more substitutes for. And now the substitute for my original thing has a substitute, and then that'll have a substitute. And I could be on substitute 4, 5, and 6, and none of the previous ones or even my original one is even available to get. And at some point it's like, okay, I can't not have this because at some point I'm going to have a mom or a baby die, and that's going to be bad. So I'm surprised that things with it going on as long as it has, that things haven't gotten any worse than what it already has. Because we're constantly, it's just ridiculous that we everything's always being discontinued or it's not available. And when it's not available, they can't even tell you now, because before they'd be like, oh, they're going to get, the warehouse is going to get another shipment in on this time. Or for a long time, it was, oh, this is on allocation. So you're only allowed to get one case every month or every 2 months. But then it's like, well, it's just not available. They're saying there's a national shortage. Nobody's getting it. And then, then it goes on substitute and then nobody gets it, period. So it's very frustrating.
It's an accumulative effect of what we're all seeing on the whole spectrum, because what you're talking about makes sense, but they don't make anything. Nothing's made to last anymore. So why would you continue to make parts for it?
Yep.
If your air conditioner is going to die in 10 years, I'm not going to keep making parts for it. I'm going to make parts for the next one. And that's why you can't get parts. And that's why everything's superseded. If you call a manufacturer anymore, nothing's the same part. It's got a different part number because it's the newer model, at least on the newer unit. It might work with the old one, whatever, but it's the same stuff everywhere. Yeah. We don't make anything to last anymore. We make everything disposable. And when it dies or stops working, you throw it away and you buy a new one.
Everything in the medical field is pretty much single use only. So unless it's like your actual like instruments you're using, that you wash and sterilize over and over again. But even those, are only good for so long before they start pitting and whatnot. But everything is literally disposable.
That's the world we live in.
Well, go away for a week and everything falls apart.
High dollar stuff.
Yeah, it's all junk. It's all garbage. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh well. Yep. What else?
I'll be right.
Uh-oh. Started to lock up. What was that? What did he say?
He said, I'll be right back.
Oh, I was just like, there it went. Blank. So.
Yeah, we just bought a refrigerator, and you should have saw the freaking hoops we had to jump through to get that thing.
I'm afraid to buy a new one. They got all these goofy ass refrigerants, and they make them like garbage, and it's like they want crazy money, but they're not giving you quality to go with the price that they're charging.
We needed it, so we had to get it.
You had to take her into pooper for the team.
Had to get it, man. Our fridge now, the door won't stay shut. You push the freezer shut, the refrigerator door opens. Kids.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's called having kids.
Yeah.
Velcro the door
with
shuts.
The kids too, but yeah, it's time. So should be delivered on Friday. I got to run a water line because LG.
Oh, did you get the 2 compressor one?
No.
Yeah, they got one that
has
I got 2 compressors.
Like the French door style. It's got the ice maker
out on
in
the bottom.
Front.
Pulls out on the bottom.
Well, no, it's a freezer on the left, refrigerator on the right, full door like this.
Kind of traditional then.
And I had some, I got cabinets, so I had height restrictions and things, and this one fit. And Home Depot and Lowe's said, we can't get it. And I told my wife, get online, find it. And Best Buy had it, and it's getting delivered Friday. So I don't know why some people can get them, some others can't, and other people will bring it. So it's coming Friday.
One of the junk units they had for me to work down there was a window unit. It had R32 in it. I'm like, R32 is a component with a mixture of multiple different refrigerants usually, but never have I seen it just R32, a jug of it. Yeah. So I got looking at the charts, and this goes along with my hackery that I was doing. I'm like, well, it's doggone close to 410A.
There you go.
It's a year and a half old, and it's already leaked out. So we dumped it in there, overcharged it by 3 ounces, and it worked. I'm like, well, if you can get 3 months out of it, you were going to throw it away before. I don't know about sending this video out. I'm just kind of like, man, it's just so many bad things. I don't know.
I just had to get into a comment battle with a roofer. I had a video a long time ago about Water World. I had a water leak on a roof. It had like 3 inches of water on the roof. And I said in the video, the great debate, the HVAC tech and the roofer, who's right? This guy got on my comments. I knew he was a roofer right off the bat, but he didn't let it on till I was like, I was like, bro, I'm an HVAC tech. I'm not a roofer. Thank God. And that's what got him.
Oh yeah.
He got upset. So we had a little exchange in the comments. I was like, he was getting on me.
I mean, we've all been through it. They blame us. We come out, we blame them. And until, usually it happens with us, and it's finally, we just schedule both of them. Yeah. Both of us go out there at the same time, and we get to meet face to face and say, look, whose leak is it?
We've done that too. But in this video, I peeled up a piece of the roof. I peeled it up, It had 3 inches of water on the roof. The units inside were train units. They're all dry. I got in the ductwork. They're all dry. Got up in the roof. I'm like, right there's the leak, and it's nowhere near my penetration through the roof.
Yeah. That was a while ago you did that one.
It was a while ago. This popped up on my comments here this weekend. And
don't you hate that? And you don't remember it? You have to go back and rewatch it?
Well, I remembered it enough, but he's like, you're telling me, you're saying those units never leak. And I was like, I never said that at all. Yeah. He was upset.
He heard what he wanted to hear.
Yeah, he was upset.
Some people just want to fight, man.
I thanked them for watching there at the end.
Well, you suck, you're a piece of crap. Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
That's what they do on the radio when they're pushing you off. They appreciate the call. I appreciate the call. Yeah. Get out of here. That's thanks for watching. Get it. Yeah, go on.
He was upset.
Or I misunderstand what they write. One was like, oh yeah, it was up to 54 degrees and you ate the food. And I'm like, it was only 54 because I had it turned off. It was actually freezing the food prior to, and during the day it only got it would run. But because they were in and out so much, it never got too cold. So it was only at night that it froze up. So it's like the food never got above it, or I wouldn't ate it. It was actually a very, very clean place that I worked at. Brand new store. I told her I want to go back down there. It's about 45 minutes to an hour away from home, but it looks like a really nice place, and they had a really neat environment, and it's down in the tallest part of Ohio. They got a lot of mountains and stuff down there, so it was pretty good stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to go back and change that TXV or if somebody else is going to do it. So I don't know. It may have already been done. I have no idea. But he was like, you could have put a solenoid on it. Yeah. The problem was we didn't provide any of the equipment, so we're not like really obligated to do the warranty unless it was something we screwed up. So I don't know. They ended up being pretty cool at the end there, though. So obviously they fed me, so can't complete that.
The man, the myth, the legend in the chat.
I seen that. Mr. The anti-DIY HVAC guy. So says hi to everybody but us. Geesh.
He said something to me.
Did he?
I said hi to him.
He didn't say shit to me.
That's because you've been flapping your gums.
Bull crap, these two have been yipper yappers all dang night. I just been sitting here like, oh, maybe I should just go home.
Hey, I warned you in the beginning, man. You invited me on. I said you ask questions, I might talk.
I
You
don't
have to
give a
tell me to shut
crap.
up every once in
Whatever.
a while.
I don't care. She's the only reason why I'm doing this. I didn't even want to keep it going. I'm like, she's like, I kind of liked it. I'm like, whatever. Then you come up with ideas and stuff. So whatever. I don't care.
My wife's just happy she don't have to hear me talk for a little while, a little while at night.
Yeah, I was like, whatever, no big deal. It's just a fun channel tonight, It's like whatever you guys want to talk about don't matter to me. It's like whatever. After this week, I mean, I've did so many whatevers. Whatever.
We're just here to hang out and have fun.
Pretty much.
Whatever everybody wants to talk about, they can ask questions.
Exactly. I don't mind it at all.
It is what it is.
Correct.
It's just the the overtime guys do their thing on Friday, and that's enjoyable too. But here on Sunday we do about the same thing. Just show up and talk about whatever.
Arizona says, and that's funny too. I noticed a lot of people complain they get crap loads of overtime. I really don't get that much. I mean, when it's around 3:30, 4 o'clock, if we want to go, we can go. I mean, I'll average about 10 hours per day, at least what I'll get paid for. And it's like, he's saying he's like been not had a day off in like 32 days or some crap. I couldn't imagine that. Of course, we got a lot of service guys.
I like to keep my overtime to a certain amount because once you work too much, it kill you on taxes.
Tax the crap out of it. You don't
I like to keep it right around 8 to 10 hours is perfect for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you're at that point where they tax the crap out of it and it's not worth the overtime.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, I've got guys that I've talked to in our area that they literally run to death, and they're running them. And these are, I think they're residential guys because you can't run us commercial guys the same way because we don't do the same job. No offense to the residential guys, but we live in a different world. Like you can't run us 60 to 80 hours a week and expect us to keep doing our jobs consistently and thoroughly at 60 to 80 hours a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen. I mean, we don't do the same jobs. If I was working on a residential system, you might be able to fix it real quick and just, little fix, get done, fix it, and get out of it. Commercial systems don't work like that sometimes. And it's not always easy. Sometimes you're waiting on people to come get you. You can't even get into the building. You can't get on the roof. This and that. There's a whole lot of other stuff going on. Yep. And it's not the same world.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's how all last week was. I mean, when I was on call prior to, I couldn't get nothing done. It was bad. The grocery stores kept calling. I mean, it was like on the one day, almost at least 5 of them called. They're all the same branches. I mean, they're just one's in this town, far away, that far away, that far away, and then one local. And it's like, you got to be kidding me. And it never fails. It's always the same ones. It's like, man, if we would do some maintenance at these things, they hired their own HVAC company, and they do some work, but they don't have to run on call. They pawn that off to us, which is really nice. And
we have a couple accounts that way. We just get the service calls. They have their own guys that do the maintenance. So
it's like nice.
Yeah, but we generate a lot of work out of those places,
Pretty
ultimately,
much.
That's
we had the same thing. I mean, a lot of they're not necessarily they're mechanical, so they can do the work as far as cleaning the coils and changing the filters, which is awesome because then you don't have to go do it. And then when they have a problem that they can't fix, if there's something wrong that they don't know, they call you.
Yep. Yeah, these guys I think had their own company prior to, and they just bought them and then put them on their payroll. So I mean, they're actually programming some of the E2 controllers. They're doing some of the conversions, some upgrades, remodels, whatever. But yeah, we have to do the other part. So it's like nothing better than knowing that they're doing a remodel and a lot of things were just switched and now there's a problem there. It's like, nice. So let me go see what they did. But what we got? What's our favorite cheese?
It's always fun to go after maintenance guys and see what they've done.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with the Genesis controls, economizer controls?
No.
Is that
Genesis being is that the
I might not even be I might be completely wrong. The
You're talking about
Honeywell
the
economizer
Honeywell
controls.
Jade.
Jade
yeah.
controllers.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know why Genesis was the oil burner control, I believe. But anyway,
Yeah.
The Jade controllers, I had two where the outdoor temperature sensor was reading 49 degrees when it should be reading. And I swapped out board. I swapped out the controller itself. I swapped out the outdoor air sensor with other, another unit that was working properly. And between the two, I still had the 49 degree.
You had it plugged in the wrong one. There's one runs on
plug.
data and one that's analog. Was it plugged into the wrong one?
I tried. I read the instruction manual that was there, and I saw how there was the two different wiring configurations. Are you talking about? But I plugged it in both, and
one's on the bus, and one's not. And I'm pretty sure that's what I had. I forget which one it was. One of them, if you hook it on the bus, even though it says it, it will do that. Yeah, if you hook it in like the analog input, then it's fine. Yeah. And I wonder, did you ever get it?
No, I'm going. Well, there was other work there. I basically bypassed the economizer because it was like 85 degrees. I don't need the economizer right now. So I was trying to do some research, but I've been so damn busy with just family shit. I haven't gotten around to it yet, but I'm going back.
That's a common failure on those too, is the sensor. I mean, it's just like.
But it's not the sensor, because I plugged in a good sensor that was reading 85 degrees, put it on there. Didn't do it.
I haven't had any problems out of it. You'll have to spend some time if you have the manual on the Jade controller. They're pretty.
Yeah.
I mean, the
easy.
setup for them is pretty easy and user friendly to walk through the setup of it.
Yeah, I did the setup. I went right through the setup. It's all set up right.
Yeah.
And I thought, well,
maybe it's plugged into the wrong spot.
Ted,
or it's the wrong type sensor too.
Ted, that's a cuss word right there. That K word is a cuss word around here.
K word.
Yeah, keep an eye on K word.
Camelot.
Yeah, I'll let you know when I find out with that.
Yeah, I mean I've had for some reason chillers and their sensors this year. I've had sensor issues. I had another Train CGAM chiller the other day that the sensors just keep getting out of whack, and they looked normal enough that I didn't have an alarm that would have alerted me to this sensor when I went out originally, and I didn't find the cause. What I found was an alarm on the compressor control, the Copeland compressor protector.
Mm-hmm.
And so the customer wasn't able to reset that. So I manually had to reset the compressor protector, and I didn't find anything else wrong. Amp draws and everything was okay.
Oh,
Chiller's
I got
running.
it, Ted.
Charge looks good and everything's okay. And then
that's
all
good
of a
now.
sudden, it finally came through the day after that they had a high suction temperature alarm. And what I found was the sensors were out of whack, but
I got it.
I was reading 50 degrees when my temperature was actually like 45. So it kept trying to drop the suction temperature because that's how it operates, is off that suction saturation temperature. And so it kept driving the EXV wide open. And as the EXV would hit 80 to 90%, it would say, if I can't maintain, 40 degrees at 90%, something's wrong. And it was cutting it out.
Gotcha.
And so, I mean, it was just literally a sensor just kind of out of whack. But the last time I saw it, it was way out of whack. It was reading, 80, and my line was obviously like 50 degrees. But it was so close that it just wasn't noticeable, at least on the first call, until it actually alarmed for something that made me look at it.
Gotcha.
Sensors like that, and I don't know why we can't make a sensor that lasts, because these things weren't 2 years old. But the same way with those economizer controls. Why can't I have a 10K? I mean, if you put a 10K sensor inside a building, lasts forever. If I stick it outside on an economizer, why didn't it last forever? Why do they screw up all the time?
No
exactly.
idea.
I don't know.
Is it the wire going into the sensor getting like the wire itself going bad?
It's possible. I looked at that.
'Cause that's what I've had a lot of times on on my Stoldian ice cream machines. The freaking sensors on the barrel and stuff, they don't last very long.
Wires.
And then what's bad is when they get down to like freeze temps, that's like it causes anything that's loose inside of it to expand, and then it'll pull itself apart, and it gets inaccurate when it gets below freezing. That kind of sucks.
I mean, that was my only thought process, and I spoke with trained tech support about it and was asking, and they said kind of the same thing, that it could be something in the wiring back to the control, because it runs 50 foot or whatever it is over to the control panel, but it's hard to pinpoint that stuff. I know the old York chillers had issues because they had the wires exposed at the sensor, so you'd have an inch or two of wire, regular old wire with regular old insulation, that would just corrode and rot out, and that caused problems with their sensors. But these are, it's got black insulation all the way back to it. They're nice. They're good sensors.
Yeah.
They should last longer than a couple years.
We're coming up on an hour 18. You guys want to maybe shut her down? We're at 10:04 area.
Yep.
I'm still having.
That way you guys can get ready for bed and all that stuff.
I'm still having flute talk.
Well, they can flute talk all you want afterwards, and they'll just leave the dang thing open.
I brought someone new to the channel, Troy.
Which Troy?
Troy Belding.
I'll talk all night.
Where's he
Troy
from?
Belding.
He is from Overtime, and we talk flute talk on Overtime on Friday nights.
Oh,
That's Mr. Belding's son, right?
I was just gonna say
the dude on Saved by the Bell.
from Saved by the Bell.
Principal. I'm sorry, I'm dating myself.
Wasn't Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell?
yes, sir.
That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to remember, I'm older than both of you. And Zach was cool as hell, and so was.
You are super old.
Yeah, well, what's her name? His girlfriend. She was nice. But
Kelly
I like Lisa
Kapowski.
Turtle too. Yeah, Kelly, and I liked Lisa.
yeah.
Lisa was really cute too.
That's
So,
before my time.
yeah, well, that's because you're young. So
I watched the reruns when I was little.
they don't even hardly show that anymore.
I was little.
What was it?
Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Have
I mean,
you
I can
seen
still-
Zach Morris's Trash?
Who said that? I know. I liked him. I would love to have been him.
It's a video. It's on YouTube. It's a guy re-watches the Saved by the Bell episodes and points out why Zach Morris is trash. It's actually pretty
Oh,
funny.
they've all are
'Cause
disasters.
he was a horrible human being.
Well, they said Mario, which is Mr. Muscles there, the jock. I mean, they
Slater.
said he supposedly like took advantage of some girls and stuff, and then poor Screech, he ended up killing himself or whatever. I mean,
Nah, he had cancer.
and then you got the tall, skinny, and
Oh,
white
hey.
girl. She ended up becoming a stripper.
Maybe he really didn't die, and he's hanging out with all the rest of them that are still alive.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, they say any of these kids that get into movies and stuff at early ages, they have all kinds of issues. They usually get brought into the drugs, the sex, all the crap.
I mean, it's like anything else, man. I mean, music's the same way. You see these guys that get into music, especially whether young age or not, but these guys are out there doing. I mean, they're living like rock stars.
Oh yeah.
It's when you're handed everything and you have everything at your fingertips.
Maybe someday
Really
they'll do an
hard to go down
HVAC,
the wrong path.
an HVAC freaking channel. You know, that would be kind of cool. You know, the rock stars of HVAC or something stupid.
I mean,
like
what,
that. The first song
Ted-
should be Worship.
Worship.
Still
Yeah.
waiting for that one.
What-
I've been
Ted-
accidentally
what-
saying the
what
words
was-
correctly
what was Ted's
lately.
Channel. Ted had the Ted. Come on, you're in the chat
Outlaws,
still.
right?
What was-
Cowboys.
The Cowboys
Or
of
Cowboys,
HVAC. That
okay.
was good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The original stuff that they were doing long ago, I don't think I've seen it because I was before I was even on YouTube watching any HVAC stuff. I don't even know what I watched on freaking YouTube prior to watching this stuff. I'm trying to
I
think.
didn't watch anything like.
Yeah.
And I mean, I started this a year ago, and I only started because I was doing something in my house that I needed some help with, so I YouTubed it. I didn't even know YouTube was here. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah, my ex told me about it, and I'm like, what? She goes, yeah, people make videos of themselves and anything else and just post it. I'm like, what the? I've never heard of that. And this is going back, at least, well, you've been here for what? 11 years. So it'd go back at least maybe 12 years ago, 13 years ago. I didn't even, didn't even know
I can't wait, Ted. The Cowboys of HVAC is awesome. I mean,
Ted says they're working on another episode.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I started watching poker videos.
Nice.
That's what then I was like, oh, I saw a Curious HVAC guy and Chris. And I was like, look at that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I did
the rest
the same thing.
Yep.
Then I found an old Rick.
History.
And I was like, this Rick guy.
He sucks.
He's a genius.
He's an asshole. What kind of
He's
asshole
a
is
prick.
he?
He's a prick and an idiot. Look at this hackery he's got going on.
I was like, look at that ladder crane.
That was kind of cool. I stole five people's designs and rolled it into one. I'll admit it.
I love
So it's
that
like
thing.
whatever. Every one of them's gone out of business, so it's like I used it not too long ago. I did buy that Milwaukee transfer pump. That thing's pretty badass. I found, thanks to Ted, he showed his little video on that shit, so I had to buy it. That thing gives you, I can shoot water at least probably 15 foot with that freaking thing. I put it on my freaking Snapchat or whatever the hell it's called, and I was shooting water around and everything, so I'm kind of excited to use it on something.
He's been talking about it like
I took it with
week.
me even down there to Kentucky. I'm like, we might need this. I'm taking
He
it
was
with
looking
me.
for something to suck.
No.
Or pump or whatever.
Retract that or I'm kicking you off.
Did I hear that correctly?
Yeah,
Have y'all
that's pretty
seen
bad.
I've
really
seen
bad.
Some of them use them in the restaurants we've been in down here, but they make salt guns, and it's like it's kind of like a water gun
For
the
flies.
It kills the flies.
I've heard of those.
They're pretty sweet.
How much salt does it throw at them?
I'm not sure. I mean,
They
this
sell them at Home Depot.
Yeah, they do, and it's small spritz. But I walked in and it was, I walked into a restaurant and it was like they were playing freaking Call of Duty or something like live. Like the two managers are back there like with this rifle shooting stuff. I'm like, what the hell are y'all doing? And they're like, no, check this out. And I'm like, that's freaking awesome.
How do you load it?
Flies.
What do you load it? How do you just put regular table salt
Probably
in
a
it?
funnel.
I think you put regular. You just fill it up with salt of some sort, and it's a pump action or something. I don't know. I didn't investigate
sure
too much further. I was just trying to figure out what the hell they were doing. But
So you season the food and you get a little fly in there.
yeah,
as well.
little salt,
Salt and a fly.
That's how they add their salt to the food. They're dropping the flies out of the air in your. Yeah.
I'll have to check that out.
I like my electric fly swatter.
Yeah, she likes torturing the spiders and stuff.
I do not like spiders.
She's like,
I
got
get
that
them.
sucker.
I make them so they spark and then they start like smoking
Sizzling.
and smoking.
Yep. She's pretty violent. Very
The
violent.
Spiders kill the flies.
Yep, she's violent. So, well, let's wrap this turd up in a package and flush it on down the toilet drain there, bud.
Hopefully it doesn't get stuck.
Yeah, well, you just got to flush twice. You got to be polite and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Appreciate everyone coming in tonight and stuff. We'll try to be back again next week. I'm not on call the rest of this month, so I should be good to go there. I'll probably get that video for what I did, like I said, at the that I was talking about earlier, where I was out last week. So try to get that squeezed in there, and otherwise we'll wrap it up. I appreciate you guys coming in, especially Hughesman and Steve-O. So
No doubt.
Thanks for having me.
Yep.
Thanks for having
Awesome.
me.
So you ready, Chuckaroo?
Oh, I gotta just hit the button. You ready?
Go for it.
Let's roll this turd.
Later.
Bye.
Go be good.
Okay, thank you all for coming. There's coffee and brownies out front.
And now, get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Okay, people, move along. There's nothing to see here.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.
Thank you very much for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
You're still here?
Maybe do it again